All right, it looks like it's 6 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Let the record show that we are missing Kathleen Bozon, right? But we just have Kathleen, so we need a motion to excuse
Valley.
and Valley. Motion to excuse those two.
So moved.
Thanks, Matt. Second.
Second.
Thanks, Mike. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Please join us with the Pledge of Allegiance from the garden.
Guard. Oh. Left. Face. Forward. Arms. Present. Arms.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order. Colors. Right shoulder. Colors. Post. Color guard. Oh. Order. Arms. Right shoulder. Arms. Right. Face. Forward. Arch. Color guard. Oh. Oh.
Hey, great. Thank you to the Civil Air Patrols. Give them a hand. Yes, we are recording the meeting. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
I have an amended agenda to follow.
Municipal Clerks Week proclamation. We'll move on to the American Legion Poppy Days.
In person, but they must have not made it. But I do have, they were out there in the poem that was presented along with it. Here's the in person, so I don't know if they want to present it or not.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just saved myself $5. Number 2 is the Municipal Clerks Week proclamation that we have here in honor of our municipal clerk. The vital to the efficient administration of city government and the delivery of services to the residents of Ephrata. And whereas the municipal clerks serve as record keepers, custodians of public documents, and vital links between the citizens and their government, and whereas the dedicated efforts of municipal clerks ensure transparency, foster public trust, and uphold the democratic process. And whereas we recognize the importance of their responsibilities and express our gratitude for their professionalism, dedication, and service. Now, therefore, I, Bruce Rhyme, Mayor of the City of Ephrata, do hereby proclaim the week of May 4th through the 10th, 2025 as Municipal Clerks Week in Ephrata, and encourage all citizens to join in honoring the municipal clerks for their valuable contributions to our community. In witness, therefore, I have unto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Ephrata to be affixed to this 8th of May, 2025. Congratulations and thank you. Public comment, none seen. Give me a minute. All right. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait a minute, this isn't for me. So which one, whom are we presenting this to? Katie? You set the whole thing? You didn't see this coming?
I didn't make this on the agenda. It wasn't on the agenda when I did it.
The record, I wanted it a whole month, but they,
Okay. So I don't know if you're allergic.
Yeah.
Good.
That's not-
Then
oh,
we're good to go. So this will be presented to you from the staff and management of the city, and congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you, Katie.
Thank you, everybody.
How long you been doing this?
Almost a year.
All right. See, look what you got to look forward to. Need a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Thank you. Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Grant County Health District Annual Report.
I believe that's in your packet. If you have any questions, we can do our best to answer them, but
Just soon not.
be guessing.
All right. And the first quarter finance report.
Yes, I have. Like the presentations from the last quarters. Hopefully we'll have it. Kind of standardized, so you're not seeing new things every quarter, but if there's anything that's missing from this report that you would like to see, let me know and I'll add it in. So this is our general fund budget. What we are hoping for is 25% since we're quarter of the way through. So we're over that with revenue and we're under that with expense. So we're looking good there. Our sales tax for February. So sales tax is 2 months behind. So February with Christmas spiked sales tax. And our January and March are just below where we were last year. So that's a good sign there. We're at about 4% higher than same quarter 2024. So our library fund budget, this is a property tax base, which we get in May and November. We are still trickling in a little bit, people paying late. We get that trickled. But we're looking good there. Parks, exact same thing, still trickling, as well as some grants that we get in. Our transportation benefit district, this is most projects, with it being the first quarter, spring, still had snow on the ground. We weren't doing a whole lot in projects, but we were getting reimbursed from the projects the previous. Street funds, this is property tax based. We were starting some projects, started to get some bills, and then we still haven't gotten those back. Specifically, if you looked at the last one, that we have a big grant over $500,000. So this is just taking out that grant to make it look a little more uniform. Since it's reimbursable, we won't get that money until we spend it. So it just kind of throws off the numbers there. This is our fuel tax revenue. We are down from this time last year in 2024. We
expected are to be making more money in revenue. Gas is still more expensive than it was last year, so when we budgeted a higher revenue. So far, we are not getting a higher revenue. We are below what we were first quarter last year. So this is those ARPA funds. We did officially turn in that report to the ARPA people. I believe it's federal. And so what we did, as we discussed in Q3 and Q4, we moved those balances to the street funds. Instead of having to return funds, we're able to just use them on the streets. This is our equipment rental budget. This is mostly funded, if not all funded, by transfers from other departments. We have recently ordered a couple more fleet vehicles as well. Sanitation, so this is our garbage. We are high on revenue and low on expense. We're going to keep an eye on that one since that is such a much bigger disparity than I expected. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Water sewer. This is about where we expect it to be, a little low on revenue there. So we'll keep an eye on that as well, but we are also low on expense. And that one does not include projects. There's a couple projects in there, but it's not the big construction fund project. This one is the construction budget. We're expecting that revenue to be low because again, these are reimbursed. A lot of these are reimbursable. So once we spend the money, we'll receive the money. So we've spent some. We're going to have to keep an eye on that and make sure that as we're spending the money, we're getting those reimbursements in. For a while, we were waiting a month or two, and I'm wanting it to be a little bit more instantaneous. Any questions with that?
So after looking at all those individually, encapsulating and kind of an overall 3-sentence picture, how are we doing?
We're on track for the most part.
Okay.
There's a couple, like I mentioned, we're just gonna have to keep an eye on a little bit closer. The reimbursements for the water sewer construction, just want to be on top of that, make sure we have that cash in and out. I don't personally like waiting on funds. So if we can be waiting on them to send the check instead of holding on to it and waiting to ask for the money, that's what I wanted to do there. And then just keeping an eye on sanitation.
So 6-month projection SOP, we're doing fine, and you don't see any glaring stop signs down the road.
Not right now. Not if we continue on the path we're on.
Okay.
We
Okay.
have major emergencies, then emergencies are emergencies.
Any questions from council?
I feel like I've asked this one before, but the change of the fleet over to the enterprise model, does that change the accounting model for the rental pool? I never know whether to expect something, a big shift in the rental pool to something different.
So basically the way that the pool was working is we would spend the money and then pay back into the fund.
Mhm.
What we're wanting to do is receive the money, then buy the vehicles.
Okay,
We are not even close to having the money to be able to do that
right.
because it would have to be essentially double paying, putting money into the pot to pay off the previous vehicles and to pay for the next ones.
Okay.
So eventually would love to get there. Double money, we're too tight right now
Right.
for that.
And I was pleased to see sales tax revenue up, but it sounds like we're still too early to tell whether we'll hit those numbers this year or not.
Yeah. Big thing with that sales tax is we are expecting an influx because of the county,
Mhm.
because of the jail going in. And we just need to remember that that is not going to be an ongoing sales tax.
Sure.
We're not going to get that in 3 years. So one-time sales tax if people's one-time purchases, not salary or anything like that.
Is there a, I don't remember seeing it in there necessarily, and this might be a question for the future, but is there a kind of I guess you'd call it unreserved fund or like an equity balance somewhere that has kind of non-earmarked money? And has that been stable, I guess, over the last, especially year, as we've undergone some changes?
So most of the general fund is unassigned money.
Okay,
And it has been.
stable. Would offhand, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have any idea what that balance is roughly?
For the general fund?
Yeah, just the unassigned money.
I think it's about 4 million
Okay,
of the 7.
that's what I was remembering. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One more pop question. The fuel tax money, is that unassigned or is that tied to streets?
It's tied to streets.
Thought so.
Yeah, that's the rub on it is you get all sorts of monies in, but they have specific places that they can go. You really don't have too many options with it.
Yeah.
So,
You guys really oversee like. You literally oversee like 17 different small
Right.
businesses is what it is.
Right.
They all have their own revenues and their own expenses.
Right.
And some of them have reserve funds that I don't report on because they're reserves and we just transfer in once a year. So we have a fire reserve fund, so that we can purchase a new fire engine when eventually we're gonna need one, even though we just got one. But that only changes once a year, so I don't report on it for you guys. That's in our big annual report.
any other questions? Looks like you pass. All right, thank you. Open up the public hearing for the Transportation Improvement Program.
Mayor, council, what's before you is a public hearing for giving the public the opportunity to speak on our 6-year transportation improvement plan. City required to have a transportation improvement plan projects to receive any grant funding or grant or loan type funding. So what we're opening up right now is if there's any public comment on the transportation improvement plan. The transportation improvement plan should be updated annually and it's included and submitted to the state for the state transportation improvement.
And it's just an overall plan.
Yes.
It has an order, but not necessarily order of appearance.
And it's just putting an idea, it's putting a plan together with that this is what we want to do. And this is the order each would like to see it done in. And it can be modified at any time.
Right. Depending on funding sources and criteria, the number 6 could be number 1 really quick. Okay.
So you have something that goes sideways and you got to get it on the project.
Thing that I remember in the past having been floated out there is always kind of, bit of a dream list in addition to everything else, but I remember discussions at different times about another northeast arterial route from kind of alongside the airport. Anything in there?
It's in the TFE.
Is it in there? Okay.
I mean, this is stuff you want to have, your
Sure.
grandiose ideas in there. All of a sudden, road boost became available and we had rail.
Right.
Plan for that.
And then going back to that, the railroad crossing that's always been in our dreams, has there been any change from Burlington Northern's
It's
side of things?
My understanding that they're not going to allow another road.
Right.
Another crossing that we did.
Nothing to it.
Yeah, you can, yeah, they say you can put another crossing in whatever you want, but you're gonna take one out.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Yes.
You get 2 Ephrata, that's all you get. Over, you can go all, dozen of them. Yeah, oh, yeah,
Can I ask a question?
sure.
At one point in time, we talked about doing a study to figure out really where those funds should be going as a priority. So if the arterial is a priority, it would help identify, larger areas that need it. over others maybe? Has that study been done? Is there funds for that?
We're
What's the
working
timing on that?
now
Okay,
to get that traffic analysis and look and see if we're spending our money where it needs to be spent. Not just traffic flow, speed. It's all good. Yeah, we're moving forward to solidify the contract right now.
and does that happen before work on this begins, or they kind of just have to coincide based on?
They're kind of their own.
Okay,
This is a plan. This is kind of a wish list. Get the information, traffic study. Whether it's next year or the year after, we start implementing those ideas into the transportation improvement.
got it. Thank you.
One other one I remember being on the list a few years ago, and I can't remember if it got crossed off. Canal Street, did that ever get paved over on the northwest side?
No, Canal Street hasn't been.
Okay.
Talked to several property owners there. They don't want to hear is that it's, the city is in the business of maintaining stuff that's given to us. We
Sure.
should be in the business of building.
Sure,
And so that developer, when that was built, that road should have been paved.
right.
And so what we proposed to those property owners is we can assist them in doing an LID, and then they pay for it over time.
That was my next question is have they pursued or has shown any interest in that?
One or two will, and then you don't hear anything from them.
Okay.
Once they find out that we're not gonna pay for it, then their interest falls down with that.
Gotcha.
Is that something we require now when people build in areas like that? Yeah. Thank you.
It should have happened then.
That's getting it.
Okay, anyone else from the public have anything they'd like to bring up? David, you want to talk about the port? Is there anything out there we need to? Do you have any comments about the port as referring to this? Okay, great. Public hearings closed. Moving on to resolutions, let's talk about it some more. R 2533, the Transportation Improvement Program for 26 to 31. Any other questions? If not, we need a motion to accept.
So moved.
Thanks, Mike. Second.
Second.
Thanks, Phil. Any other questions or? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Wellness policy update.
We are looking at updating our wellness policy. It was created in 2008 and then throughout time it slowly wasn't utilized as much. And so one part I wanted to bring in with human resources was bringing the wellness back and helping out our staff and what they're wanting to do. And so for the wellness policy, it's a little bit dated. It's not currently relevant with some of our needs and wants. We do have a pulse survey currently out with our staff to kind of get a gauge of where their heads are at with well-being and what we could do, what we're doing good with the city already and what we could work on, those types of things. We have some initiatives planned for our staff, and we're hoping that with this policy update, we can go ahead and pursue those plans that we're looking at doing. So I just had to update a couple things, make it a little more relevant to today's.
Questions? A motion to accept resolution 2532, the wellness policy update.
So moved.
Thanks. Second,
Second.
any more questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Bo?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Items for council action, the new logo. Is it new?
Okay. Councilors, Mayor. So as we know, it's been an ongoing project that we've all got to partake in. So we have narrowed it down to the 2 logos and we have the 1 color palette in there. So what we're asking you to do is,
Ooh, the paper's getting smaller.
Let's,
we have ballots for you guys. And I do have Bo able to do his as well.
We're getting validated.
As she's requesting her to join, but
Yeah, she's there.
She's just viewing. Just wondering if she's just watching the live stream.
Yeah, she might be.
Yeah.
Valley was messaging me. She tried to get in. I think it was during the flag salute, and so I don't think anybody joined her in. But her and I have been texting, so I don't know if she's going to try to get in again or what.
wait for her. Is she trying calling or?
Just trying anything she says. Did you send a calendar invite for this?
Go check her email.
if she's able to watch, we could just put her on a speakerphone.
She's on a work computer, so she's not gonna be getting the invitations.
Do one caller then.
I have her number if you haven't called her.
Here's the phone number. I'm gonna send her the link.
She over there in Jeremy, so you're closer to Katie and she can hear that way. That's okay.
Can you dial her in on Teams? I'll let you do that.
I wasn't streaming, I could.
Um,
Send a link through text, so she should be able to jump on her phone if she wants. Let's call her.
But she doesn't have Teams on her phone though. It might probably won't work. She's just gonna have to go in through the website.
I think it would go to a browser.
screen. Oh,
Oh, nope,
there she is.
we did it. Kelly, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
There we go. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Okay, so I'm gonna ask for the council to choose between logo A or logo B, one or the other. If you go with logo A, the majority votes, we're done. If we go with logo B, I will then ask, do you want B1, B2, or B3? And the difference is just the suns. We chose the color palette last week, so that's the same color palette through. And then of course you can see what it would look like on some of the swag. I made sure to take out the backgrounds of the blue, that way you could see it on a black background on both. So I would like for everyone to choose one or the other. If you choose the other, then choose one of those as well. If you do have any further feedback on the one that you chose, that is fine. We'll perfect it and then adopt it in.
Ally and Bo, if you guys can just send a message to Katie on your preference of A or B.
Katie, can you blow up the bottom half?
What was that? Sorry.
Can you blow up the bottom half? The options of 1, 2, and 3 are a little.
I messaged in the chat. I don't know if anybody's paying attention to it.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you. And just let me know when you're ready. I can go grab some forward.
Will you scroll up just a little so we can see the other one again? Just even if it's just cut off, like one section, yeah.
How'd we do?
Wait for one more.
It's me, huh? I'm be slow.
Take your time.
I don't know. Here, you can just take this. I'm gonna do this. I'll circle this one
Okay.
because I don't.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So it looks like is option B. And looks like for the sub choice, we have a two-way tie.
Of course you do.
Of course you do.
Okay, so between B2 and B3.
2 and B3.
This sun and this sun, the bottom two suns for those who are not seeing.
Revote, just with those two options.
Yes.
Yeah, Heather slips back to him. Maybe on the back, if you could just write 2 or 3.
Gosh, I'm throwing this at you. Right here.
Back.
Oh, I didn't give yours. No.
They did.
Christmas vacation version.
Valley was 3.
Okay. So, yeah.
Now you understand what the background of doing business in the city of Ephrata. We take our stuff pretty serious and we like the weeds.
Okay. B3 is the winner.
Okay.
Down here. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Katie.
If there's any other feedback, just let me know by the end of the day.
Some.
Oh,
Good job, Katie. You got it done.
Yeah, that was tough.
oh, we can mark that off.
Really?
Yeah, finally.
You just witnessed a big deal. All right. So with that over, is there anything else you want to bring up, Ray, before we go into executive session?
Just, it is. Yeah, this week, if you're up for election, you gotta file by the end of this week. We just set a date for our workshop with the port. The feeling is there's enough to discuss with them that it should be a full day on a Saturday. They cannot do June 7th or June 14th.
Targeting one of the weekends in June, though.
Yeah. Here's that way.
Looking for dates right now.
I think so. While we're looking at our dates, I want to go back to committee reports. And Ron, could you give us an update on what we talked about Tuesday about what's going on up at the jail and the property?
So, the property has been annexed, it's officially now, we've gotten we don't have the actual document back from the state Office of Financial Management yet, but, they have agreed that they have everything they need, so it should be just a matter of probably a week. But once that happens, actually at this point, taxes and everything should have changed. Tom Gaines, essentially the project manager for the jail facility, did make contact with his construction firms, and they are now changing their process to now make sure that that's what it has. So, but at this point, all building permits from here on out will come through us. They will have to finish the short plat in the county. That has not been completed. It's been approved. So actually that may have to go through some additional review by us. But it is very close as well. Beyond that, the jail facility, and the PP property is all now. Yeah.
So the size of Ephrata just got a little bit bigger.
A bit bigger.
So what approximately what is the total acreage up there that we're talking about?
Altogether, it was about 89 acres, and it is a public facilities designation. So it can be, city, county, state, facilities supporting, the general municipal.
Cool, great, thank you. Questions? So we're going to wander into executive session about selection of site or acquisition of real estate. And we should be in is over for everybody that's here from the